Okay, now I'd like to share my life experience with DID. Pretty much everything I've talked about applies to me, but I'll explain the origins of my alters, their characteristics, and how I integrated them. I've had 7 different alters at points in my life, and the last one still exists. The first was the Neo Goblin. For those of you who think Goblin pretending Spider-Man was what it sounded like, you'd be correct. I grew up watching the Spider-Man cartoon, so I knew the Green Goblin and the Hobgoblin. I had an abusive father. He gave me spankings when I misbehaved, made me wash my mouth out with soap if I swore, and occasionally hit me with a belt. He was also a big yeller, which is verbal abuse, and psychological abuse when he made me sit in the corner for hours, not moving, not making sounds, and not sleeping. If I offended someone, I had to write an apology of at least a full page and a compensation, namely I knew I got before I really got the chance to read or use it. He also held things over me, like how he recorded Saturday morning cartoons, and I had to earn them one at a time. All these created deep anger and resentment, first at my father, then at the world. The Neo Goblin acted out, often verbally, occasionally physically, trying to cause tricks to upset people. Around this time, I developed Jake Cassidy. Jake liked the Spider-Man villain Carnage, Cletus Cassidy, and took the last name. Jake was kind of like the opposite of the Neo Goblin. He was shy and just wanted to sound cool and be liked. This was made difficult as Jake was gay. Jake developed from sadness. The catalyst was my first love Sarah's death, then my grandfather's death, especially when my dad abandoned me after a major fight, which explained Jake's desire to be liked. The Neo Goblin had great resentment and dislike of Jake, and found me everything that the Neo Goblin wasn't. Neo Goblin was so resentful he caused suicidal thoughts, which Jake attempted to follow through with. Jake had been pretty much full in control when I was in middle school, but being bullied induced an instant switch to the Neo Goblin, who relinquished control when he felt justice was served. I was constantly in trouble for an illness I knew nothing about and that no one realized I had. Events got worse and worse, and really unspeakable actions occurred, but the Neo Goblin gave up after he felt his work was done and integrated itself back into my psyche, and hasn't acted out since, so all evidence shows he's gone, especially since it's been 12 years with no activity. When I started high school, Jake was able to be liked and make so many friends that he felt his work was done in 11th grade and made me completely whole. That didn't last as I developed a Jasmine alter who thought she was my dead cat. The trigger would come running home coming home to my house. She would do odd things, even eating my new cat Rose's food, and running up and down the stairs like Jasmine did. Then the most rational author, Nathan, was created in 11th grade, and Jasmine realized she wasn't needed when she didn't get along with Rose, and felt it was time to leave the house. Nathan was actually my protector. If I was in a tough situation, Nathan would defuse it, claiming the identity of Nathan instead of Tim. This was highly unusual and confusing to my fellow students. The only person who truly understood Nathan was my amazing best friend Kelsey, and she really helped him out. When I started college, I took computer science classes, which I just didn't understand, and to give me bravery, Phoenix, yes, X-Men Phoenix, was developed to give me strength. Phoenix wanted to give me strength, but was resentful of Nathan as my protector, and Nathan felt threatened by another force trying to look out for me. When I left university, Phoenix felt his work was done and integrated. After I got a job, my coworkers didn't really accept me. So, Trickster, again, tried to make me funny, and people did like me. Unfortunately, developed a bit of a southern accent that annoyed people, and Trickster, not liked, but integrated, but levied a bit of a southern accent. Finally, after a blowout with my father, when I hit my head and was put in a prison hospital, I developed Spite, who did self-destructive tendencies as well as trying to do harmful things, hurtful things to people, just to do nothing but make people suffer. I checked into a hospital in an attempt to integrate Spite, and Nathan was integrated, and Spite was temporarily suppressed, but when I feel inferior, ignored, or misunderstood, Spite feels he must end the situation. Fortunately, it's easy to take control of, and I return within the following hour once Spite feels alone. The worst thing about returning from the switch is the amnesia. It is very disorientating to find yourself in a very different place than I was before, not knowing what I did. So, have I talked to my therapist? Yes. Why have I been hypnotized? It has never been medically proven, and there's no hospital doctor to see me switch. Does this mean I don't have it? As I say before, I believe I have DID, show all the symptoms, friends and family have seen me switch, and know that there are differences within my personality, so whether it's medically proven or not, I have it. This disease, despite what some people think, is a real illness. If you think you have it or think someone you love has it, please do further research because this is a serious mental illness. So as always, I want to hear from you. Leave me questions, comments, or suggestions for future topics, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Next time, my super awesome best friend Kelsey will join the show for a live interview on overcoming medical illness, so be sure to watch it. Until next time, Team Cubbin, out.